And you might be wondering, bakit ako mag-isa ngayon? Hello, welcome to our 10th episode of Baliwag Leadership Flow. And you might be wondering, bakit ako mag-isa ngayon? And I want to talk about retirement, meaning, is there a retirement in ministry, in my calling as a Victory Group leader or intern? And so I want to tell you, there is such a thing as empowering the next generation. So hopefully one day you're gonna be a stepping stone or a foundation for them. But what does it look like for living for the entirety of our calling, not just as a pastor but even as a Victory Group leader? Let me read to you a verse from Apostle Paul. Says there, Ephesians 4 verse 1, I therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called. So there is a specific calling. It is you who have been called. I have been called. There's a general calling. There's a specific calling. And maybe where is that? Is that a location that you have been calling on? Or even the gifting, the grace of God? And how are you going to do this? You're going to do this with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love. So it's really more on the how, the attitude of leading and bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. And later we're going to see an illustration of leaders' runway, as to there needs to be a runway so that there is going to be a unity in the taking off and the landing of ministry callings, even as Victory Group leaders. There's one body, one and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope that belongs to your call. And so I love this illustration of Pastor Steve. There's a book that he's writing that is about succession planning of leaders. And even as administratively we lead as a local church, we're looking forward to even with government sanctioned HR retirement programs. So that's gonna be, to me, it's gonna be a great testimony for the next generation on why they would want to consider going into the full-time ministry as well. And so if there is such a thing as a leader's runway, or parang runway ng eroplano, first thing that you wanted to do if you're gonna land is that you're gonna refuel. Again, there's nothing wrong with refueling. In fact, it's good to refuel. I know minsan may nagre-refuel sa air, but most of the time I think you need to land so that you can refuel. And if you feel like leading a Victory Group has been a chore, then it's time for you to seek a leadership group or have a mentoring so that it does not become a chore or be reduced to like some sort of a religion where we prove our salvation to God, where we should not, because we're doing all of this because of the grace of God. Even the reason why we want to land is to redirect, meaning it's not just about maybe sometimes you feel like you're tired, but really God is just redirecting you. It's not really that you're resigning from your call, retiring. Hopefully it's a refire, hindi retiring, refiring of your calling from God. And you're gonna land, but you're gonna redirect. Like there's no direct flights from the Philippines to this nation, so there's redirection. Again, another thing is to retool, which means even before an airplane is gonna be retired, there's a lot of retooling that's happening. It's not the same seats, it's not the same computer systems, but piece by piece the airplane is being upgraded. And so maybe sometimes there is a sense that the knife is not that matalim, so parang things are becoming harder because you need some sort of an upgrade or equipping. And so do when you see trainings like this, Leadership 113, grab a hold of that. And also repair. And most of the time, there are situations that this is necessary, that you really need to land. No, it's not. It's necessary for you to have a repair, because if you are leading people and you are damaged, then you are a danger to your own soul and even to the soul of the people that you're leading. And this, I'm not pointing my fingers to you, Victory Group leaders, but to me as a pastor. If I'm not healthy, then therefore there's gonna be a sense that there is not gonna be health in the people that we're leading. And lastly is retire, which as in Arizona, there is like thousands of airplanes there in the desert that are being retired for every so often, and they're like boneyards, which means they are parang kinakarne. So even before na i-karnehin yun or recycle, it's gonna be part of a new refurbished part is gonna be part of a new airplane. So which means you're gonna mentor the next generation. There's a part of you that is gonna be passed on to the next generation. So in closing, Apostle Paul is encouraging us to keep walking in a manner worthy of your calling. There are a lot of seasons in your calling, whether you're gonna refuel, needs a repair, retool, redirection. But I guess for the entirety of our life, we're gonna continue to obey the calling of God in our lives. And so that's how we flow in our leadership. God bless you.